Good morning from the slopes of the Snow Bowl here in Arizona. Today going to be hiking Arizona's high point, Humphreys Peak. For a full trail guide of Humphreys Peak, you can go ahead and check the link in the description below. It's funny how quickly things change here in Arizona. Just a couple miles in every direction, it's basically desert. And here it's 40 degrees with yellow aspen trees. Reminds me of back home. So today, going to be hiking Humphreys Peak. It's just about 10 miles round trip, with about 3,000 feet of elevation. Humphreys Peak sits at just over 12,000 feet, and it's one of the easier high points here in the western US. Your hiking will start off in the ski resort or ski area, whatever you want to call it, the Snow Bowl, and then quickly dive into the forests that surround Humphreys Peak. Originally, I wanted to do a link up of all of the San Francisco peaks here. Guess there's a ridge line that you can take, but unfortunately one of them is prohibited to hikers because of the delicate alpine vegetation, and it can only be hiked in the winter with snow, so that you're not ruining that. So I'll be settling with what is undoubtedly the most popular way to get up Humphreys Peak. There are some other ways to hike it on the opposite side of the mountain, but for me this just worked out better. Views right off the bat to your left are pretty amazing, with the aspens changing and the peaks in the distance. Great visibility today, not as smoky as it has been too. Just cracked 1,000 feet of elevation gain and about 2-ish miles into the hike. The name of this trail so far has been just giant switchbacks. So you go to the left and then go just to the border of Snow Bowl and go back to the left. Finally starting to crack tree line. All right, this is your first false summit of the day. You're gonna work your way up to that point and head right. Looking down towards the Snow Bowl there and off to southern and western Arizona. Some extremely minor class 2 scrambling as you get to the first false summit. Arizona doesn't seem to do cairns, but these very obvious trail sticks are how you find your way. Beautiful up here. Very pretty. All right, final stretch. You got 2, 3 false summits. The true one is back there of Humphreys Peak, looking down to the pretty foliage. Looking back to Saddle there, the other San Francisco peaks. It's pretty up here, surprisingly. The San Francisco peaks are all dormant volcanoes, which is pretty awesome. And you can really tell by the geology and rocks up here. It just looks like old lava, really. This guy is Agassiz Peak, this guy is Fremont Peak, and this is Doyle. And so I wanted to traverse this whole thing, but Agassiz Peak is the one that you are not allowed to hike during the summer. All right, you're around the last corner here, and that's the true summit, just a little ways away. Summit of Humphreys Peak, 12.6 and change. It's really pretty up here actually with the foliage, and you can kind of see the Grand Canyon, but just faintly. From car to here was just about 2.5 hours. Should be much quicker on the way down, and yeah, pretty easy hike. Class 2, dog friendly for sure. In terms of gear for this hike, I'd recommend hiking poles maybe, but really hiking shoes, hiking boots, backpack, food, water, sun protection, you're ready to rip. Enjoyed some quality time on summit of Humphreys Peak, just soaking in the beautiful foliage. Honestly, some of the best I've had all year, go figure, in Arizona. So that's gonna wrap up my trail guide of Humphreys Peak here in Arizona. Again, it's highest point. If you're new to my channel, I do trail guides on the highest points in the States, on hiking across the country, Colorado and beyond, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button not to miss any future hike related content. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. As always, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you on the next adventure.